Hi, everyone. So glad that you're able to be together and have a little Catalyst refresher today. Let's get started. Our goals for today are to read and review the Catalyst Sparks. We're going to think about those within the phases of the lesson. We're going to reflect on our own personal implementation of Catalyst Sparks since we were together during workshop week, and we're going to set a goal for our continued implementation. So let's get started. The last time that we were together, we watched a video of Jessica teaching to a Spanish immersion classroom, and we were able to use the self-assessment form. This form was really powerful for us because it emphasized the 4 phases of the lesson, which are getting attention, teaching, that transition to application or practice, and then the application and practice phase. Then we were able to see where those sparks are and what the sparks are in the context of those phases of the lesson. So before we start with our work today, let's just do a quick moment where we think, what did you leave last time from that session watching Jessica's video, wanting to remember? We were in the gym together, we watched the video, there was lots of conversation. What was something that you left last time wanting to remember? And then we're going to have us pause the video and share with the people that are sitting with you. Go ahead, pause the video and have some conversation.
You might remember from our workshop week training that Catalyst lessons each have 4 phases of instruction. And those are listed within this whole group leadership skills document. And they are also listed on this Catalyst self-assessment. You can see there are 4 areas listed along the left. And then within each phase, you can see there are specific sparks. Some phases have more sparks and some phases have fewer sparks. And then again, looking at that self-assessment, you can see that first spark listed is get ready. Then when you refer to your packet, you can see that there is 1 page for each of these sparks. So as you start to assess yourself, if you're not sure what this means, get ready, you can go to that page of get ready and see what exactly they are looking for during that phase. It explains step by step how to do it. It gives some kind of special considerations and of course has a visual to match. And if you're a person like me who was trained a couple of years ago, you'll notice that the switch from Envoy to Catalyst has altered things slightly, and you might find that they're a little less rigid in terms of, for example, in the training that we did, the signal was put your hand up like this, and that was the only way to get people quiet. With Catalyst, they offer lots of different options, and so it's a little more of a match to lots of different teaching styles. So I encourage you to look at each of those pages when you're not sure what, or if you just want a refresher on how Catalyst looks at each of these different sparks as well.
All right, me again. Let's talk about what your directions are for your work time today. In your packet, at the back of the full packet, the last page has a clean copy of the self-assessment form. On the very back of that side are the exit directions that we're going to talk through now. So just remember that you also have them in print in front of you if you'd like to look at those now. And then you also have your 1 single document of the self-assessment page. Those are the 2 pieces you'll need next to you at the moment. Let's talk about what our task is. So the first step is to read 1 phase of the self-assessment. Remember, this is the single copy that you have, not the one in your packet. So you'll read 1 phase of that self-assessment. After you've read that phase, you can flip to your packet to read the spark definitions if you want to know more about them. Jot yourself some notes, do some thinking about that spark to help you remember or refresh what they are. Then you're going to come over to that portion of the self-assessment and rate yourself. At the top of the document, there is a code that tells you what these letters stand for. A is always, U is usually, S is sometimes, and R is rarely. So you'll rate yourself on this self-assessment for each of those components. Then you're going to repeat that same 3-step process for the other phases. Remember, this is an independent task for self-reflection and assessment. Finally, what you're going to do is when you finish all of those steps, you'll turn over the self-assessment and just put them into the pile in the middle of the table. Remember, no names are necessary here, but we are going to culminate the data across the building so that Jessica and I and our administrators know what next steps that we need to pursue to continue our work with Catalyst. If you have time before the rest of your group finishes, you can go back into your whole group leadership packet and read some of the detailed definitions of the other sparks. So here's your directions. Think, when you're all done with that step, you can think, what is a strength area for you and what is a goal area? Jot just one idea that you want to remember to implement into your instruction back in your classroom. Then you can have some conversation at your table. Just share what your commitment is or one thing that you want to focus on until we're together thinking about Catalyst again. And then bring that sticky note back to your room. Stick it anywhere, on your computer, on the wall, on your desk, somewhere to remind yourself of what you want to implement before we are together with some Catalyst thinking again. Thank you all for your time today, and we hope that this has been helpful for you. See you soon.